Rebecca, just when you thought it couldn't get worse.
Well, Evergrande, as you say, has already defaulted officially on its dollar bonds back in December. So I think, by and large, of course, many investors will have priced in its inability to rustle up payment for its debt. But Evergrande, like many other developers, has been so far avoiding official delinquency in its onshore market by continuously seeking these extensions. We've seen similar at firms like Choong, for example, and many developers essentially try to do this so that their operations can still continue to run smoothly, so that they can continue to build and deliver all of those new homes that are in progress and ensure they're continuing to pay workers. So this is being very, very closely watched, not just by onshore creditors, but also by offshore, trying to understand really what the implications are for Evergrande's operations going forward. Now we've seen this inability to secure this second deadline.
The question here really has to be, I suppose, ultimately, Rebecca, what does this mean for the wider industry? I mean, it's just trouble right across the board. It's a huge amount of GDP, a chunk of GDP. When does it start actually having a systemic effect, or is it already?
I think that's exactly right. That's the critical question. And what we're starting to see with the inability to secure these sort of extensions in the onshore space is the beginnings of the stress creeping into the much larger onshore market. And it's really there that if we see stress developing, that there is a much broader systemic risk. I mean, although we've seen incredible stress in the offshore market, it has been really effectively ring-fenced. But authorities will be looking for signs of stress in the onshore market. And as we move into the sort of second phase of this distress cycle in China, we increasingly are seeing not just sort of difficulties from already defaulted developers in the offshore market now struggling to avoid that official delinquency onshore, but we're also seeing things like some of the property bonds, onshore bonds, selling off quite sharply as well. Overall, things are still pretty robust in the onshore market. Borrowing costs are very much under control, but things like, you know, the ability for some of these stressed developers to seek refinancing onshore, and there's a close look at, you know, the credit lines that have been extended to many of these stressed developers as well. And even when we see kind of defaults by big firms like Choong, and of course this latest difficulty by Evergrande, there are questions about how widespread this type of stress is going to spread now that we're moving into this next phase of the stress cycle.